Okay, working on this hay baler. Just getting started here. This tongue, where this piece is bent, you can see the bent piece. I think what happened here just didn't make sense the way it was bent. If you caught it on a rock or something, it would have been bent back and everything instead of to the side. But I think what happened, I think that weld must have cracked right there. And this piece here was welded on it, and I'm sure that there originally was a turned and went up on that. So I think that weld probably broke, and they just kept using it and pounding it back and forth until the whole thing bent on me. So I'm going to go pull all of this apparatus off my donor baler and see if we can just put it all back together. Okay, I've got some parts off of that other baler. That bent one here is what's come off this baler I'm fixing up. And so I pulled this straight one off of the parts baler. And I was going to pull this other piece off as well of the other baler. You can see this piece here is broke off. It's been welded. It should be welded all the way in there, and it's broke off. So I was going to pull this whole thing off of the other one and put it on this one, but look how this one's welded on there. The other one isn't welded, but this one's been welded on there to hold it in place. So I decided to just, on this part, fix this piece up rather than cut all those welds off. You can see in there where it was welded on there. Just got it hooked into place there. So I'm going to just weld this back together here rather than cut those welds up on top. Got my Humboldt welder here. Does a pretty good job. It just barely will be enough to weld this thick stuff like this. I think I can get a good weld on it, but it won't do much more than what I got here. Okay, I got this tongue all put together, and it turned out really good. If my welds hold. I used to be a really good welder. I learned that when I was in college, but I can't see anymore when I'm welding, and so my welding abilities have really gone downhill. But anyway, I think it turned out really good, and it'll hold. I'm not concerned about it not holding. Good to see it coming together. In addition to that, I got the drive line put back on it, and so I'm just about getting ready to fire up a tractor and hook up to it. I've been turning this by hand and working it back and forth, and everything seems to be free at this point, so it's time to hook a tractor up to it and see if it'll turn it over. Boy, this is a death trap, sitting here watching this thing. A lot of places a guy could get hung up and really mess himself up. Time just to sit back and watch it work. I got to hook up the needles. They were pretty tightened up there, so I unhooked them here until everything got going. Also, this piece that advances, you can see it's come loose there on the bolt, so it's essentially tying the knot every round. So I'll have to get this thing straightened out here. Just thought I'd let it break in some of that fresh grease, some of the oil that I put on it. I wanted to lube it up really good with oil, and then before I start using it on a consistent basis, I'll pressure wash that oil out of it and grease it again, so all that oil isn't collecting the dust. I think it's actually going to make hay again.